Once upon a time, in the heart of the Whispering Woods lived a little turtle named Tommy Turtle. Now, Tommy was no ordinary turtle. You see, he wasn't content with merely basking in the sun or munching on juicy berries. All the animals were gathered around the clearing, and their excited chatter reached even Tommy. "A turtle in a rabbit race," guffawed a gray rabbit. Tommy watched as the rabbits lined up at the starting line. Their eyes were focused ahead, tails bobbing with confidence. They were initially surprised by Tommy's request, but after hearing about the challenge, they were all in. Sammy and Alfie were hot on his heels, their teamwork flawless. Soon, they were nearing the finish line, neck and neck with a rabbit, a squirrel, and an owl. In the end, it was Tommy who crossed the line first, his heart pounding with exertion and triumph. The crowd erupted into cheers, and Tommy couldn't help but beam. He had proven not only to the other animals, but most importantly to himself, that with hard work and determination, anything was possible. And so Tommy Turtle became the fastest runner in the Whispering Woods, proving that it's not the size of the tortoise that matters, but the size of the heart. The three friends raced back to the clearing, where they found that the other animals had formed teams of three, each consisting of a rabbit, a squirrel, and an owl. The rules were simple. Each team member had to complete a portion of the longer track, and the fastest overall time would win. The crowd buzzed with excitement as the race commenced. The first leg was the rabbits' territory, and as expected, they shot off like arrows. Tommy, Sammy, and Alfie watched as the rabbits swiftly covered the distance. One by one, the squirrels took off, their bushy tails bouncing with speed. The owls hooted encouragement as they soared through the air, effortlessly gliding above the treetops. By the time it was Tommy's turn, the lead had narrowed to just a few feet. With a deep breath, he took off, determined to make the final leg a turtle victory. He noticed that they were all different shapes and sizes, fast and slow, short and tall. Some were brown, some were white, but none of that mattered, because today they were equals. Even the badgers and foxes who had doubted them before now congratulated them. Tommy, however, noticed a strange absence. The white rabbit with the long ears wasn't at the party. He remembered how the rabbit had boasted about winning the race. But where was he now? Tommy found him sitting alone under a tree, his ears drooping. "Hey," Tommy asked gently, approaching the rabbit. "Why aren't you at the party?" The white rabbit looked up, his eyes downcast. "I just feel ashamed," he whispered. "I thought I was the best, but I wasn't even close." Tommy sat beside him, remembering how he too had felt the same way once upon a time. "Listen," he said, his voice kind. "Being the best isn't about winning every race. It's about trying your best and learning along the way. You may not have won this time, but that doesn't mean you're not amazing." The white rabbit looked up, a glimmer of hope returning to his eyes. "Really?" he asked. "Yeah," said Tommy, smiling. "So come on, let's go celebrate." The white rabbit hesitated for a moment, then stood up, a newfound determination on his face. Together, they joined the other animals, and soon the white rabbit was laughing and playing like the rest of them. From that day on, the Forest Olympics became an annual event, a time for all the animals to come together, not just to compete, but to forge new friendships and discover new strengths. And as for Tommy Turtle, he continued to inspire every creature in the Whispering Woods to reach for their dreams, no matter how big or how small. After all, as Tommy always said, it's not the size of the turtle that matters, but the size of their heart. They all had the same goal, to be the fastest rabbit in the forest. Suddenly, a bluebird swooped down from the sky and landed on a log. She held a small bell in her beak, and as she rang it, silence fell across the clearing. "Welcome to the Forest Olympics," she announced. "And now it's time for the first event, the 100-meter dash." The rabbits hopped impatiently, eager to show off their skills. Tommy was the last one to reach the line, and as a bluebird dropped the starting bell, all the animals gasped. Tommy took off like a green streak. The rabbits were stunned. They had never seen a turtle move so fast. Tommy's powerful legs pumped, his neck stretched forward, and he surged ahead, leaving the bewildered rabbits in the dust. The crowd roared with excitement. The rabbits might have been fast, but they hadn't anticipated the underdog turtle. Tommy crossed the finish line and was greeted with thunderous applause. The bluebird placed a garland of leaves around his neck, and a wide grin spread across his face. "What a joke! Are you serious?" Another rabbit with floppy ears chimed in. "You can't even go 5 feet without taking a break." "That was cheating," he accused, pointing a shaky finger at Tommy. "How could you possibly run faster than these fine young rabbits?" "It's preposterous," the crowd murmured in agreement, and for a moment, Tommy felt disheartened. Had all his hard work been for nothing? Sensing Tommy's dejection, the bluebird intervened. "We need to figure this out," she said, looking at the crowd. "If he cheated, we'll disqualify him. But if he didn't, then we have to accept his win." An idea sparked in her eye. "Why don't we do it again? A rematch, but this time with a twist. We'll make it a team relay race, and Tommy can bring 2 friends to help him." The animals cheered, and Tommy, feeling a surge of hope, hurried off to find some speedy companions. "What makes you think you can outrun us?" Tommy's eyes flashed with determination. "Just wait and see," he said, without a hint of fear in his voice. The rabbits snickered, and without another word, Tommy went to practice in the nearby bushes. As he peeked through the leaves, what he saw made his heart skip a beat. There was a group of rabbits, and they were planning something very special. "The annual Forest Olympics is almost here," said a brown rabbit with a twitching nose. "And this year, we're gonna have the fastest runner competition." "Oh, that's great," said a white rabbit with long ears. "I bet I'll win again. No one can beat me." The other rabbits nodded in agreement, each convinced they would claim the coveted golden carrot trophy. But little did they know Tommy had overheard their conversation, and his mind was already racing. This was his chance to prove to everyone, most importantly to himself, that he could be the fastest. No, Tommy had dreams, big dreams of speed and glory. He yearned to be the fastest turtle in the entire forest. But the other turtles just laughed at his audacious goal. "Turtles are slow by nature," they said. "It's in our DNA. You'll never win a race, let alone be the fastest." But Tommy didn't let their words dampen his spirit. He trained day and night, pushing himself to run faster than any turtle before him. And slowly but surely, he started to get faster. One day while Tommy was practicing his running, leaping over logs and dodging trees, he heard a commotion. Tommy decided to enter the competition, but when he approached the registration table, he was met with laughter. As the big day arrived, All the animals were out in full force, cheering and jeering. But Tommy's victory was short-lived. A grumpy badger who had lost a bet on the race stomped forward. He found Sammy Snail and Elfie Ant, both known for their swiftness in their own right. Tommy sprinted, his little legs carrying him over roots and around trees. After the race, there was a grand feast and celebration. Tommy, Sammy and Elfie were hailed as heroes.